We work so you can play. J-Knight, Batrep!
Hey everyone, welcome to another J-Knight Battle Report. As always, my name is Jay, and this is Owen. If you didn't know who Owen was...
You do now.
You do now, because I'd be surprised. Do you think anybody here would be on MiniWarGaming's website doesn't know who Owen is?
Assuming that they're on MiniWarGaming's website. More likely they're on YouTube.
Good point.
The numbers say they're on YouTube.
Yeah, good point. Good point.
And I'm willing to bet that not everyone on YouTube knows who I am.
No? Oh.
Yeah.
I thought that was... I thought you had a shirt saying that. I'm Owen, everyone knows who I am on YouTube.
I don't have a shirt saying that. I did have a shirt saying, if your heart's not in it, the dice aren't... What did I say earlier? Oh, it should have been on the shirt.
Yeah, see, if the dice aren't in it,
If your heart isn't in it, I can't remember what I said. If your heart's not in it, the dice don't care. Something like that. Anyway, what are we playing? We're playing 40k.
We're playing 40k, and we're playing, how many points?
2,000.
2,000 points of 40k, and this is the thing, we don't know. We decided to go back to it just to have some fun. We don't know what armies we're going to play.
Not because he wanted us to, but because we decided to. I like that kind of thinking. I'm not doing it because you're telling me to. I mean, I can do it. I can do whatever I want. I just happen to be doing it.
Oh, I'm doing it because they told me to.
Yeah.
Steve specifically.
Yeah.
Steve. So, without further ado, we'll get to our rolling of the armies and then our army composition.
All right, so which army are you gonna get, Owen? You roll first. Which army are you gonna get? What?
If we get the same army, we reroll.
Sure. Both of us reroll.
Just wanted to establish that.
You roll first. Let's see what army you get.
6.
6. Orcs. Okay. Do you want me to roll? You really want me to roll 6 now, I'm guessing. So that, yeah.
9. Orcs
9?
and Necron.
Okay. Orcs versus Necrons. This is gonna be interesting.
And here's my 2,000 points of Necrons. For a more detailed list, go check out the pregame show. But basically, I have a Overlord in a barge, 2 Catans, 4 squads of Necron warriors in Ghost Arks, and 1 other barge which I will be replacing with an Overlord to make my list legal later. And now here are 2,000 points of Orks. As you can see, he has Knob Bikers with a War Boss on a bike, a Battle Wagon with Defrola and 4 sets of rocket launches, I'm pretty sure, a Looted Wagon, a giant squad of Storm Boys with a Knob with a Boss Pole and Power Claw, 2 Daka Jets, about 26 Ludas, 2 squads of 13, and a squad of Ard Boys.
Alright, so here's what the table looks like at deployment. As you can see, he's hiding his guys. His Ludas are hidden behind the tiniest Looted Wagon ever. And then the Battle Wagon's hiding all them. And we've rolled, and we're playing Purge the Alien. And over here, I have all my guys lined up sideways, ready to I'm going to move up sideways and just flay to death. And yeah, so we're all lined up sideways using our tactics from Quick Tips Tactica.
Is that what that is? I thought this was Common Sense Tactica.
Common Sense Tactica. And we'll see what happens in turn.
And so Owen tries to seize the initiative, and he fails by rolling a 5, so it is Necron's turn 1. So I begin by turning my models sideways and moving up. I keep going with sideways, actually. That way I can keep firing my arcs and only expose my side armor, which is the same as the front. And then I just move up my Catan behind them. Right now my goal is just move up all my vehicles, create a wall of vehicles that can fire, and keep my guys behind it. And right now, obviously, my goal is to get First Blood, because First Blood tends to really matter in games, especially Purge the Alien. All the secondaries can really add up. So move up my Catans, and the Catacomb Command Barge. As I mentioned, I replaced the other barge with another Overlord to keep my Royal Court legal. I start open firing on his Battle Wagon. And as I said, right now my goal is just to glance at his death. I failed my first wave. And then I fire with the guys inside it as well. They're snap firing. Fire the next vehicle at him. And fail with my Harbinger attacks as well. Right now, I just want to glance anything to death. So I start firing at the Looted Wagon instead. So I start firing at the Battle Wagon one more time. Now the Looted Wagon. Right now, as I said, I just want to get that thing down. I got 1 hull point off for 1 glance. And I keep firing at it. And eventually, I am able to destroy it. And I blow it up. I actually will get a couple pens with some of my shots from my Harbinger, and I blow it up and I get first blood. So that's sweet. So I get 1 kill point for the vehicle and 1 for first blood. And that's it. That's pretty much my turn. Now it's Ork's turn 1. So he starts by moving up his battle wagon, and he's going to ram right into my Ghost Arks and destroy them, as you can see, because that battle wagon will just do damage with its Death Roller. So he gets 5 hits on the first one. Rolls to pens and gets 4 pens, which is a lot of pens on that Ghost Ark. So then he rolls to see what happens, and it just wrecked. So the guy inside will have to disembark. Then he keeps moving to the next one. Gets 4 hits on the next vehicle, rolls and gets 2 pens. So he rolls to see if it explodes there, and it doesn't, so the Death Roller stops there, and my guys get out. He then moves his Ludas. And who cares about snap firing right now with Ludas, because they get a lot of fire, and it's always fun to snap fire with Ludas. And then he rolls a 6 for the Storm Boys. So they instantly shoot across the table, and now he's just trying to figure out what he wants to assault, because he's going to probably destroy another Ghost Ark for a point, and then he'll try to just figure out what he wants to assault with all those Storm Boys that are just shooting across the field. And next he moves up his bikes. These bikers are going to be pretty hard in close combat as well. They have a lot of power claws, and they'll hit really hard. So my only hope right now is maybe get him with a Catan that will instant kill them, because they're only toughness 5. And then he starts shooting. Shoots his Ludas. They get 2 shots each. Gets 1 glance with his first round of shooting. So 3 glances. I get cover saves. And I fail all 3 of my jinx. So it instantly destroys the vehicle. And he rolls to see if it explodes. And it does. And so we're rolling the guys inside. It only does damage to 1 of my guys, which happens to be my Lord. But it does end up killing a bunch of the Orc boys. So I'm going to roll for my guys, and as I said, the 1 person I put the wound on happens to be the 2+ save of the Lord, and there you go. He fails, and he's knocked down. Luckily, he does have a reanimation orb, so he comes back on 4+. We'll see what happens there. So he shoots his other Ludas at my Catan. Gets 2 shots each. Gets a bunch of wounds on me. I roll my 4-up cover. My 4-up armor, invols, and I pass 3 of them, so he's good. And then he starts shooting at my squad of Necron warriors that have been exposed, and I lose another one. And I rolled for my reanimation, and I lose my Lord by failing his 4+. So my Lord is dead, and that's already a blow to that squad because they lost the reanimation orb. And then he tries to assault them. I overwatch, don't get anything really, and then he is able to get into combat. Luckily, it is dangerous terrain, and the rule is, because of my Catan shard, everything that is dangerous, double dangerous, so he rolls, and on 1s or 2s, he has to take wounds, and he ends up actually losing a couple boys because of it. He then declares his other assault with the non-bikers. I overwatch. I'm able to get 1 wound. He makes it. And then he makes his distance, so the non-bikers are able to get into close combat with my squad of warriors. And this is going to be pretty dangerous, because as you can see, a lot of fists are going to them, and you know these Necron warriors won't be really able to stand against all those fists of those non-bikers. And unfortunately, I can't get mind shackled this round because my Lord is in the back. So there's his Hammer Wraths. And then I do my wounds on him. He fails his first one. Oh, these are just dangerous terrains. And he gets 2 dangerouses. And actually loses a wound because of dangerous terrain. Especially because the Catan makes it doubly dangerous. So then we pile in. Initiative step 2. I do my attacks on him. I get 1 wound on him. He goes 4+ armor. Fails it. But passes his feel no pain. So he's okay. And then I get my other attack in. There was a challenge. I believe his war boss challenged, and I accepted with my Cryptek. He gets his Pain Boy attacks. They get to reroll their 4s because of poison. 2 wounds. Or my 2 armor saves fail 2. So 2 Necron warriors are knocked down. And then he piles in initiative step 1. Technically, that guy should pile in initiative step 4, but it's okay. Then he gets all of his Power Claw attacks back. And as you can see, there are a lot of dead. So the Cryptek gets knocked down, the whole squad gets knocked down, and then he consolidates because the whole squad is knocked down. right now. He gets to first consolidate, and he maneuvers his guys. He rolls a 6, which is terrible for me, because then he maneuvers his guys basically so that I couldn't get my Cryptek or my Lord up. And in the rules, if they can't reanimate within an inch of your opponent, they are removed from play. And they're done. So it's another kill point for the Orks. Alright. Then the next attack, once again, he challenged, and I accepted with my Cryptek with the knob against the knob with the Power Claw. He gets his attacks at the same initiative. So I lose a bunch of my Necron warriors due to that, because we're only at 2. And he had stick bombs, that's why he got to go at the same initiative. I think it's hit back 2. And I did 3 wounds to him, so that's not too bad. I was hoping to take out more of the Storm Boys, but it's okay. And then he gets more attacks on my Cryptek with his claw. And my Cryptek is knocked down. I then roll for my leadership check at 7, because I lost by 3, and I pass. Then I roll my reanimation protocols. And actually a good chunk of them actually end up getting back up again, so I'm going to keep going.
All right, so after one turn, a lot of carnage so far. We're going to see what happens now. It's getting pretty crazy. And this is all that's left on the tabletop, and yeah, a lot of crazy carnage. And the current score is 3 to 1? 3 to 2. Sorry, 3 to 2. All right, we'll see what happens in turn 2.
So now it's Necron's turn 2. So I decided that I'm going to fly over my Lord and maybe take out some of his... maybe I can destroy that battle wagon from the side armor. That'd be really sweet, because right now just that Dev Roller took a lot of my Ghost Arcs just by itself. And with my other Ghost Arcs, I've decided I'm going to fly out and shoot up those Ludas, because it'll kill the Ludas and it'll be great. So my Catan Shard drops a Pie Plate of Doom on the Knob Bikers, gets 2 hits, 2 wounds, and he fails his 2 armor saves and feel no pain, so 1 biker instantly dies. And then I start shooting at the Ludas with all my guys. I get to snap fire with the guys inside and just light them up with under rapid fire range, and I get to shoot my guns from the sides. So that overall, I'm hoping to kill a couple Ludas, and in the end I only do 1 single wound to 1 Luda. So that's not very much. So then my Catan Shards try to assault the Knob Bikers. First one, they were watched back, 2 wounds. I passed both my armor save or my invul saves, and I rolled 9, which is plenty to get him in. And then I saw with my other Catan, I'm basically going to try to double team these guys with 2 Catans and just basically smash attack them to death. And then I charge the battle wagon with my barge. So we start with the Catan Shard battle first, and because of Time's Arrow, he has to do an initiative test on one of his guys. I nominate the Power Claw. He fails his initiative test and is removed as a casualty. And that's a lot of fun, because I'm just going to kill these guys using that Time's Arrow, hopefully. They have a very low initiative, so it's easy for them to fail. I then smash attack with my Catan Shards and kill another one. So that's not bad. And then he piles in with his guys. And this time he needs 4s to hit and 3s to wound, and then with the War Boss he needs 2s to wound, so it's gonna be easy for him to do damage, but I do have a 4+ invul in these guys. I end up failing 1, so he has 2 wounds left, and the War Boss gets his attacks on the other Catan Shard, gets 2 hits and 2 wounds. I roll my 4-up invuls, fail 1, so I lost 2 wounds by 1 combat overall, because I instant killed 1, and he rolls leadership and he's good. And then next I get to the assault on the barge. I get 2 pens, and it explodes. So it's dice +2, and I roll double explode. And it explodes 1 inch, so we'll hit my command barge. Then we roll for the guys inside. Now they're Ard boys, so they're not going to get injured as easy. And he does fail a few of his saves, so they come on, I believe, missing 4 guys, which is not bad. I've taken out a chunk of them. And then next, the other combat with the Necron warriors. He whiffs. I was actually able to kill 1 of the boys just with my attacks, and he knocks out 1 warrior. And then I roll, because it's a tight combat, nothing happens. I fail my reanimation protocol, and now it's Orcs turn 2. So the Ludas start shooting at my guys, and now since all they can do is basically glance it, because it's armor 13 until it's penned. And he gets 1 glance, and then he shoots his other Ludas, gets 1 shot each. And once again, they don't do a whole lot. Then he shoots his boys at my command barge and then assaults them. So that way they can maybe destroy it from behind, but he's going to try to focus the attacks on my Overlord as opposed to the Barge itself. He does his difficult and dangerous terrain tests, fails a few, and actually loses a few boys due to it. And then now to the other combat. My Cryptek goes first, gets a couple hits, 1 wound, and he fails a wound on the Storm Boy with the knob. Then he gets his hit, he gets a couple hits, no wounds. So it's a complete whiff there. He loses combat, rolls for leadership, fails, boss pulls it, kills a guy, and fails again. So we roll to see if I catch him, and I do. By rolling a 6, he is caught, and that entire squad of Storm Boys is wiped out. So there's another kill point for me, and I didn't see that coming. So then I consolidate 5 inches. So then I nominate the Pain Boy now to do his initiative tester die, and he fails. I think he took a fail a pain roll, but he failed that anyway. So he's now dead. So awesome. He loses another knob biker, and I turn my attacks and I smash attack the other guy. I don't do any wounds, and then my guy gets to smash the war boss. I actually decided, I decided not to smash because he only has a 4+ armor save anyway. And he fails, so is one of the wounds. So his war boss is now down to 2 more wounds, and then he gets his attacks back, gets 1 wound off the Catan, and then his war boss hits the other Catan. And knocks my Catan down to 1 more wound. And he failed, so he goes leadership 7 and passes. And then does his attacks on my Lord. I get my attacks first, so I get 2 hits, 1 wound, and I kill a guy. Or 2 wounds, and I kill 2 guys, 2's wound. And then he gets all his attacks on my Overlord. And in the end, he only gets 5 wounds, but I failed 2 of my 5-up saves, and he's down to 1.
So after turn 2, here's what the battlefield looks like. The boys are there, but they're about to be left in the dust and maybe shot by a little bit. I don't have much to kill them. We'll see. And, cool. And then there's these guys, stuck in combat, slowly whittling each other down. Each one's a kill point, so we'll see what happens there. I'm going to double check if they're a character in a second. And vehicles over there, and we'll see what happens in turn 3.
So now it's Necrons turn 3. Right now my goal is just to wipe out those Ludas because they do a lot of damage to my vehicles. It should be noted that we did roll for reserves in turn 2 for Owen. He just failed both of them. We just didn't get it on tape. And I move through dangerous terrain, or difficult terrain. I roll for dangerous. None of my guys are injured. Then I decide to just split fire my barge and shoot at the Ludas and those boys. In the end, I kill one of the boys due to on the one side, and then I shoot at the Ludas with the guys and all the guys inside. And actually wipe out a few more of them. Right now I'm just whittling them down because they really can't do much to me other than glance me to death, possibly. So I just keep shooting at them and wipe out a few more. And then I shoot them with the other Ghost Arc and repeat this process until I am happy and they're wiped out mostly. And I'm back to combat. He passed his initiative test, so he's still alive, not from times arrow. And then I smash attack that one knob, hit and wound. He fails his invul and is killed. And then back to the other one. I attack with my Catan, don't do anything to him. And his war boss does a wound. So in the end I won. He passed leadership. And now it's Orks turn 3. We start by rolling to see those Daka Jets come in. They do. And they're going to do a lot of Daka-ing. He will call the Wah this turn so that they get a lot of shots each. And then moves the squad through terrain. Does the dangerouses. Fails a couple. Fails 1. And fails his armor. So he loses. Or sorry, passes armor because they're our boys and they're okay. And so he starts shooting at my barge. I lose a hull point off my barge. And then he turns his Daka Jets on my Ghost Arcs. And they have a lot of shots. 18 shots, twin linked, 4s to hit. So a lot of them will hit. And they're strength 6. So they needed 5 to land, 6 to pen. Or 4 to land, 5 to pen. And basically knocks the first one down to 1 more hull point left and explodes the other. And they have to get out. So that's pretty crazy there. Now back to this awesome combat. And he decides to join in with the combat, so he assaults in with his boys to just tie up my one Catan for a while. Of course, he's giving them just, you know, some stuff to kill as well. And because he's only, on the first round of combat, he can wound me on a 6. And on the second round of combat, only his knob can do anything after that. So he's got to protect his knob, because if I can kill it, he can't hurt me at all. I'm toughness 7. So I do the initiative test, force him, and he dies. And then I get my attacks in, kill a few more. He piles in initiative step 2 for those boys. Gets a few hits, but needs 6 to wound, 2 wounds. I get my 4+ invul. And I fail one, so he dies and explodes, because Catans do 6 inches explosion, and what happens is it ends up killing a bunch of more boys. So that's not bad at all. I know he killed my Catan, but in the end I do get to kill a bunch of boys, and that's always good too. And then I attack with my guy on the war boss, get a couple wounds. He fails both of his saves, and his war boss is killed. So I got another kill point there, and he lost by a lot. Rolls and fails, and I believe he's actually able to get away. Yep, he gets away, and my Catan Shard just does a d6 consolidation. But that squad is very whittled down. I think they'll only be able to regroup under normal circumstances.
Turn 3, right?
That exploded. They mostly got wiped out. He got wiped out, and they got wiped out. And this happened.
And now it's Necron's turn 4. So my barge moves up to engage those Ludas, maybe kill them. I'm hoping just to take out as many of them as possible and remove his shooting. And then I start shooting at his Daka Jets. But I first got to move my guys through difficult terrain. And I do dangerous as well, because that Catan Shard. I lose 1. And then I just start shooting. So I killed 1 Luda just based on shooting from the Overlord. And then I start shooting all my stuff at those Daka Jets. I want to kill them right now. And so I shoot my first ones, and I get 4 shots and 4 hits with 4 6s. That's pretty awesome. And in the end, I was able to get 1 pen. And then I shot the Harbinger one. I got hit as well, so 5 hits out of 5 shots. And I was able to do some actual damage. I took off a couple hull points off the first one. And then I repeat this process with the other guys on the other one. Basically, my goal is just destroy those Daka Jets right now, because they can fly around the field and kill a lot of my guys. It's very hard to take out flyers in 6th edition, as you're probably well aware. And he does his things, and I'm actually able to kill the first Daka Jet. He fails all of his Jink saves. And then I fire at the other Daka Jet. And I don't get anything with my gauze. And I do a pen with my Harbinger shot. And I take off a hull point, and he has to snapfire next turn, which is a huge advantage. Then I assault in with my Overlord. I really want to kill those Ludas. And then I assault in with my Catan Shard. He gets Overwatch, and he could kill with the rockets, hypothetically. But doesn't do anything to it. So I get in there, and he fails his leadership check when I catch him, because they are fleeing, and they're destroyed, and I get another hull point. Not a hull point, kill point. And then my Overlord attacks in, kills a Luda, then he gets all of his attacks back, and this is the scary point. I forgot that he only had 1 wound left. And so he forces 3 armor checks. I have a 2+ save. And I fail 1, so my Overlord is killed, and he gets Slay the Warlord on that one. But I can see if first I have to see if he gets back up. Does he get back up again? And he doesn't, so he Slay the Warlord and another kill point, so now it is 8-7. It's very close. But due to time constraints and the fact that basically all he had left was the Daka Jet that could snapfire and a few Ludas, Owen decided to concede based on the current score and the way it was going. And so it is a Necrons victory. So thank you very much for watching, and if you'd like to see more awesome battle reports, click on the link below for a free 7-day trial membership to the MiniWarGaming Vault. Not only will you get to see this Warhammer 40k battle report, but you'll also get to see more awesome Warhammer 40k battle reports, as well as just some great wargaming videos. So until next time, this is Jay saying, happy wargaming everyone.